second podcast ever. I'm Joe Bradburn with Cowboy Cartel Group, and we're joined tonight with
I'm Lionel with Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiasts.
Lionel. I can hear myself echoing
Yep,
through your microphone.
I could hear it
Did
too.
you have headphones last time, or you
Nope.
didn't have this problem last time?
Yep, it's odd. Sounds like we're still on the phone.
Well, that's not going to work. Turn my mic down a little bit and see if that helps. All right, so Clay was supposed to join us tonight, but what happened to him? I didn't even see. I was getting ready for the show, and I didn't even get to see.
Oh,
What
I
happened
got
with
it.
Clay?
He had a busted tire on the freeway, and or I don't know where he was, but he had a flat, and the spare tire was dry rotted, so couldn't make it 3 hours before a tow truck shows.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of reverb from you. Let me try to turn your mic down just a little bit. All right. So we talked earlier on the phone, and I told you I would wear my black cherry today, and I actually wore the black cherry 7X American for a video I did today. As a matter of fact, the video is uploading now. It should be live either now or by the time we're done with the podcast. I did the Anderson Bean black hippo boots today, and I wore the black cherry. And I told you can't really tell. It kind of looks
Yeah, it
chocolate,
looks
doesn't it?
black to me.
Yeah, it does. And if you get it in the light, you can see it's almost
In the
looks
light,
kind
it
of
looks
chocolate.
like a little bit like a darker shade over chocolate.
Yeah. So I told you it doesn't look as red as you would think it normally does. But this is the 7X version, and I got a matching patch for that one.
It looks hella cool. So today, like I said, I worn this hat all day today. By the way, I saw your R. Watson review. It was really good. Um, but
Thank you.
I am wearing my Rodeo King 7X Ash, or as I like to call it, Ash Belly. And yeah, I like this hat a lot. Um, it's kind of like a little bit of a darker shade in the silver belly, but it actually works really nice. Almost looks like ash, like a silver belly on the video, I think.
Yeah, I remember when you bought that hat. You were looking for a silver belly at the time, and what was
Yep.
that? Were you looking for? I think you were looking for a resistol silver belly or something like that.
Yeah, I was at the time, and then I just stumbled across this one that was a great deal from the owner of Silver Spur Battle Shop out of Waterloo, Idaho. And yeah, he had that one, and he just he gave it to me at a great deal, so I just bought it, and it ended up working out really nice because I'm actually enjoying this much more than my Stetson 7X. Much better hat, I feel.
Yeah, uh, Stetson 7X. So the so
Or
the
6X.
yeah, the Skyline.
You're right.
I don't know. Maybe it's the new hats coming out of Rodeo King right now. But maybe we talked about this last time we were on the podcast, but or maybe we talked about it offline. I took a 10X Rodeo King, and I compared it with a 7X and a 10X American hat. Um, all three off the shelf, brand new hats. And so, first of all, the 7X Black Cherry is a lot grainier. I think
Yeah.
it has more texture to it than the other colors of 7X for American. But so a steel 7X and a steel 10X American are very close to my feel. They feel very close.
Yep.
And the Rodeo King 10X has a more tactile. I don't know. It feels more coarse. It's kind of very similar to this 7X Black Cherry. It's got that steel wool type feel to it. So I don't know if that's just new stuff coming out of Rodeo King, or if they're all like that. I know they're not all like that. I've felt some other ones that have been on the shelf for several years, and some of the oddball sizes like 6 3/4 that don't get sold very quickly.
Yeah.
They stay around for a while. But they're a lot softer, so I don't know what's going on with Rodeo King. Maybe they're cutting corners, or maybe they're having supply chain issues. And they're just putting out felts to put felts out.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'll tell you this much. I mean, this is nowhere near like a modern 10x um, American hat company hat. Like the steel one that I felt at the store. I felt a 10x, like I said in the review, actually comparing the American to Rodeo King. But it is a good hat. It does offer, they do offer a good hat for the money, but it's not going to be anywhere near what you're going to get out of American. I would say at this point it's just better to pay a little bit more money and get an American hat. It's, overall you're spending a little bit more money, but I feel like you're getting a better value because that 10x will feel like a 20x American or Rodeo King. So I
Yeah.
feel like you're getting a better value at that point. But with that being said, this 10x does feel great. I don't know if it's an older 10x or what the case might be, but also I did see some issues with the buckle and some glue and a few little imperfections, but that's just pinpointing. But again, the only reason why I wouldn't buy another Rodeo King is the fact that first of all, uh, American is just a better brand, and I'd rather stick with American for the future. And also the fact that the um, customer service is not there and you cannot even get a hold of Rodeo King. That's just not a company I really want to deal with further on.
So I haven't owned a Rodeo King. I've owned Stetson, Resistol, American, and of course, I fell in love with the American. I still think American's finish is really good. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know what they do, if they're sanding more, if it's the the felts they're getting. Um, yeah, it's a really great hat, and even the 7X. I mean, I can go get a 6X Cavenders made by Ceratelli, and you know this is still softer. Even with the really deep dark dye they're using here, and
yep.
this being you know kind of rougher than some of the other 7Xs. But I see you're wearing your new suspenders.
Yeah, that's one of
Are
them.
you using those daily now?
Pretty
Oh, you
much.
got two now.
Yeah, I got two. So I got the Nakonas and the 3D. These are the Nakonas right here, and yeah, they are very comfortable, I must say. So I've been wearing them more and more. Um, they just feel great and they look good. Actually, I get a lot of compliments on them. Like people are like, "Whoa, we don't see suspenders," but they're like, "Man, you just you're rocking them." So I'm like, "Okay, that's good then." But they are comfortable and they look good. Keep it good posture.
So I gotta ask, are you wearing a belt and suspenders, or you just going
No,
full suspenders? And,
nope.
okay, good, good.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. You gotta trust one or the other.
There you go. There you go. All right, so we are less than, uh, well, we're what are we? A week and 2 days away, a week and a day away from our, DFW trip. You
Yep.
ready yet? Are you packed? I mean, are you ready?
Well, I'm ready to go. Yeah, but I still haven't packed. It's a little too early, but I pretty much more or less know what I'm going to take with me.
Okay.
So,
And have you decided on a hat yet?
good question. I think I'm going to take my 6100 with me to the
Okay.
just over there and see what happens. See if it can be done of the way that I wanted it to, or if I have to start with a fresh canvas. But
All right.
more or less, actually, this hat, this Rodeo King here, is basically what I really like as far as the shape go.
Okay. So, note to self: I'm gonna make a note of that right now, and I will not bring my 6100.
That's a good idea. Um, I got some new boots coming in tomorrow, or wait, no, Tuesday.
I know we talked about this. What was it, Thursday? I went to
Yep,
the Texas Boot Company, and I went there to get.
thanks to you.
Actually, I'm wearing them right now. The Hippo boots from Anderson Bean. I went there specifically for these boots, and I wound up seeing these grizzly bear Anderson Beans, and then we talked about it. And like before I got home, you had them, right?
Yeah,
You had
right
them on
there.
order, and they were.
I'm like, because you gave me a call and you're like, hey, I got this pair of hippos, and you're like, and guess what? The other, how it is, and I'm like, what else you get? I'm thinking maybe he got like another exotic skin, I don't know what
Oh,
it
it's
could have been,
exotic.
and you're like, grizzly bear. I'm like, they make boots out of that. That's like the ultimate exotic, and that's what you told me too. And I'm like, um, hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Literally went and ordered a pair right there and then. I
Yes,
couldn't.
sir.
I'm like, man, there's no way I'm not gonna have grizzly bear boots.
I didn't know they made them. I mean, what else do they make? Can I get unicorn? Anyway, all right. So talked about hats. Talked about your suspenders. What boot you wearing?
Today I am wearing my Lucchese Creighton in the tan color and the snip toe, and they are very comfortable. I must say, I wore them with a nice dark pair of jeans, so they kind of pop.
All right. Yeah, I saw that actually. You're right.
Yep, yeah,
I
I
didn't
did think
remember
that.
until you said that. I'm sorry. No, yeah, I saw
Mhm.
your post on the forum, um, but I had forgotten. It's been such a busy day.
Of course.
you know, um, and Clay. I mean, he's AWOL here. I mean, he's got a cell phone. He could be doing this from the side of the road. I don't know why he's not on the cell phone right now doing this.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's
We
just a little bit nervous. You know what I mean, with everything that's going on.
right. We could be waiting for the tow truck with him right there on the side of the road.
Exactly. He's just figuring out
Is
which tire, and he's gonna have to buy, and maybe if he could get some chains for him.
Yeah, and it's a bad week for car problems. I called you, or you called me the other day, and I was in the middle of I had my battery was dead. I go downstairs, my battery was dead, and it turned out whoever replaced the battery last did not. I don't even think they hand tightened. It wasn't even finger tight the terminals for the battery,
Jeez.
and I guess I had I had some tires changed the day before, and maybe when they put it up on the jack, it kind of shifted the battery or something.
Maybe, yeah. That's very oddball, but it could happen.
Right? I mean, it worked fine for a long time, and then all of a sudden, the car gets jacked up. I come home, go out the next day, and there's no power. So uh, it is one of those things. Costs
Yep.
some money to figure out. It was a very simple fix, but I don't know. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside. I don't want to go out and troubleshoot it myself.
Yep, exactly. Trust me. I used to work on cars, and we found out the hard way that in some of the early 2000 Range Rovers, if you don't put the hazard light on and you jack the car up, you blow up the airbags.
Well, I've got a Range Rover too, so I don't I don't need that kind of problem.
Yeah, no, it's not a good
Did they
one.
fix that? I hope.
Huh?
I said, did they fix that? I hope.
Oh yeah, they did. They fixed it unhappily, of course.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Never trusted airbags from them.
So tell me what else is going on this week.
So
Anything new?
tomorrow, 4th of July, I got the Farini boot reviews, where I'm going to be reviewing a pair that's sitting here of their famous Bronco boot, which is a Paracoup print that looks awful real.
Yeah, I saw that. You showed me pictures of that,
Yep.
and I forget if it's a horsepower. I forget if it's a horsepower or a Cavender's brand makes a fake Parakou or a Parakou print. But that you say it's Farini.
Yep. Farini.
Um, Sorry, we. It seems like we're having some problems with the live stream.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting some messages that it's showing it's not live, but we're in recording. We're in a live studio. We've got the chat up and running. We've got a producer tonight running the back end for us. Can you
Oh cool.
check that and see if we've got any issues with the live stream? Can you check the live stream for me and send me a text message and let me know what's going on with that? Oh, if he's listening, I'll text him. Maybe he's bored.
Just trying to help
I'll
out
cut
Terry
this
with
out.
that
I'll
car
cut this
issue.
out of the. We don't have anybody watching because we've got an issue here, so I can cut all this out in post. Which, it's funny. You texted me and you said thanks for bleeping out all my coughs last week. You had the last time we
Yeah.
did the podcast, you were sick and you coughed quite a bit.
Yep.
And I said it was funny because if I had known that it was that much trouble to edit, I wouldn't have cut them out. But then again, I was cussing so much, which we're not going to be doing this time. I hope I haven't said anything bad yet.
No. Yeah.
Because in the post production on that, when you have 3 cameras rolling and 3 separate audios, and then you have to go through and watch a 2.5-hour podcast 15 times. I mean, that's 2 days worth of work. It was horrible.
Yep.
So hopefully we can
Sure
knock this
must have
out. We'll do an hour podcast, and then I can upload most of it, except for see what's going on here.
Sure, it must have been pretty miserable.
It wasn't so much miserable, just as much, all of this. Here we go. Hang on a second.
Looking
So
forward
talk
to-
about something important and something cool.
Oh, well, we got some jackets coming in. That's pretty cool.
That's right.
A little bit important.
That's right. You called me. You called me last night. And you showed me these jackets, and I said, I don't need that. And then you sent me another picture of it, and I realized it's corduroy, and I don't have any corduroy, so I need that.
Yeah,
What are we getting?
we're getting. Let me see what it says here. Moonshine Spirit. That's a long name. Man's khaki barn door bonded button front cord jacket. They put the whole description in the name.
So that's who? Jason. What's the guy's name again? We talked about this guy last week, or last. I keep saying last week. Last podcast,
Right.
because he makes those show hats that are really cheap, and I didn't know him. I know he's a country singer, and I've never heard any of his music.
Brad Paisley?
What's it? No, Jason.
No, it's Brad
Jason
Paisley.
Aldean.
That's Brad
Oh,
Paisley line that they made for Boot Barn.
I thought it was Jason Aldean. Okay, well, either way, it's the same kind of issue. I don't know the guy, and
Yep. Same deal.
same deal. Okay, so Brad Paisley this time, not Jason Aldean.
Yep.
And so it's his Boot Barn self-branded kind of thing, but it's a cool jacket. It's a good-looking jacket. It's more of a fashion jacket. It's kind of marketed as a
Rancher.
ranch wear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ranch wear, or
Rancher's jacket.
it's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. You pick up a fall jacket in the summer, and you can save less than 50%, or less than
Pretty
half
much
price off.
50% with the deal we got.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, and I can use that. I like the fall because in summer you're wearing t-shirts or whatever. Speaking of t-shirts, you see the new t-shirts.
Nice Cowboy Cartel t-shirt.
There you go. Did you get yours yet?
I didn't.
It's on the way. It should have been there. I mean, well, I don't know when it's going to show up. It was shipped last week, first class mail. So check your mailbox. It's on the way. Oh, check that out. Look at that.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So that's not going to be on our regular edition shirts. It's only on our shirts we're giving away, or shirts that I wear, something like that. So any giveaway shirt is going to have the QR code on it. So that's our link tree. It gives us links to all of our social media and contact information. So
That is awesome.
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. That was a lot of times you see a flag on the sleeve or something like that. We put a flag. I mean, I can stack this thing up both sides. I mean, I'll look like a rodeo a bull rider with all the sponsorship on this thing here. Well, by the time I'm done, I get an American flag, a Mexican flag.
Yeah.
Keep going. We got patches.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah. So these are samples, and I've been testing them out, and like they're pretty much the same size as
Positive times.
yeah, Positive Times, so they fit right on there, and
Nice.
they look good. I'm working on some that's just the head without the circle and without the background, so it's going to be just the head, and it's going to be a little larger.
That
So
would
I think
make a
that's
great
pretty
koozie, by the way.
Well, funny you mentioned that. We got koozies on the way. They're oops, there's a bleep. No kidding. No kidding. We've got koozies on the way because Tecovas, and if you go to Tecovas, you get a koozie. If you go to Lucchese, you get a koozie. I mean, there's other places that. Yep, there you go. See, exactly. So I've got a few in the cabinet up there. I don't even use them. You've seen the Lucchese ones. They're shaped like a boot.
Oh, I haven't seen that. That sounds awesome.
Really, you haven't seen those?
No.
Hang on a second. I'll show you.
Oh, nice.
Wonder if it'll fit. I wonder if it'll fit on the bottle. Let's see.
I got the collection from the Tecovas too, by the way.
I've got a couple Tecovas ones up there.
I got the
I can
Chisos
squeeze
too.
this around the bottle. Oh, Chisos. Yeah, we're gonna get it on.
Are they lighting up fireworks around your area? Because they are doing it right now. Like they started this morning.
Daylight here still, man.
Yes, I mean, well, they started this morning.
And that's funny because in Kentucky they start like 3 weeks before,
Oh wow, that looks cool.
right? So that's the Lucchese. It's a foam. It's not like
Yeah, but it looks really
it's
cool
nothing.
though.
It does. It does. It's pretty cool. Um,
Is that a
if
print?
you go to Lucchese, I'm sorry.
Is that a print?
A print. No, that's full grain.
Oh, nice. It looks more like a rough out.
It's smooth as silk, buddy.
Nah, suede.
Oh, speaking of suede, rough out.
Is that the R. Watson that I saw the
That's the R.
video?
Watson. That's the R. Watson. And you know what? It's really a shame because this is it's so beautiful. The contrast between
That
this really
contrast
light.
was really nice.
Look how dark that is, man. It's darker than my shirt, or
No,
as
that's
dark
beautiful,
as.
man. It matches that
It's a
black
really
cherry
beautiful.
perfect with the extra touches of red. But
Yeah, yeah. That piping is pretty. I mean,
yep,
it's a pretty boot. It is a pretty
it
boot.
is.
And you know what? I might try to get that boot again in maybe the seven toe. Um, I think it would look better in a
They
seven
got
toe.
some nice
It look
looking
it,
boots, but I'm very surprised that they're not using lemonwood pegs.
They are. Oh no, they're not. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah,
You watched my video and I didn't.
you should listen to yourself sometime.
I watched that thing 55 times, man. You would think I know, but I did. I did the
Right?
Anderson. I did the Anderson Bean today, so I watched it 55 times, and I've already forgotten about this one. So you're right.
Yep.
But we talked about that. Your Stingray boots, they were delayed because there was a Lemonwood peg shortage,
Right.
and so maybe these were made during the shortage. I have to do some more research. It's possible these were made during the shortage and they just used
Yep.
the brass nails. So hopefully they will return my email at some point and I can ask them. And
So,
and hopefully I'll have a chance to review these again because I've only tried these on. I have not worn them at all. I mean, as you can see, they're
yep.
brand new. If it wasn't for the little flaw there, I would keep those boots because they're very pretty.
Yep. So Blake from JW Boot actually told me that he had a lot of halts due to the fact that there wasn't any lemonwood pegs. So uh, basically, he doesn't deliver the boots without the lemonwood pegs now, from what I'm understanding, and that's a great thing. It's just he's trying to do his best to make the boot as high of quality as possible for his customer, and I could sure appreciate that. And he's always making improvements.
Yeah, and you know that's really good because do you know his involvement with the factory?
I don't.
Well, and so I made assertions that R. Watson was, and all of this happens in hindsight. So I made assertions that R. Watson was a middleman buying from a factory in my video about these boots, and they're only warehousing them. I said that they are, um, you know, it's probably their design. They send their design down and then have it made, and like you would from any other manufacturer, make me this, send it to me, and I'll sell it. I don't know that's the case, because Lucchese obviously owns a factory in Mexico, so it's possible R. Watson owns a factory. If some of these things we make assertions, and we should probably do more research on.
Definitely.
And that's one thing, but sometimes you're in a rush to get a video out there, and you say things that you don't know for sure. Otherwise, it would take me forever to make a video. So that's one of the things I'm going to work on in the future is, hopefully, we can call or, excuse me, in some way contact the manufacturer and ask the questions before we make the video.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
then,
try to do definitely as much as I can.
right, and then if they decide, they don't want to contact us back, then, the only thing we can do is say, we don't know.
Yeah,
This is
or
our,
we think, based on
yeah,
what we're, but at the end of the day, I mean, we all know that most modern manufacturers, especially the direct to consumer folks, that they're making boots, they're having boots made at a factory. Now it is their choice to pick the factory, pick the level of the hide and say, hey, I want to make sure my boots has this, and that. And based on that, that factory will say, okay, well, not a problem. You want that hide, you want that level of construction, you want that attention to details, it's going to cost you such and such, which is maybe why, let's say, a brand like Chisos is charging double the price.
that's
Um,
me. I was texting
yeah,
Clay, sorry.
yeah, just making sure he's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's why
hit mute, or
know.
turn to, it said hit mute or something.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so um, that's why like a company like Chisos maybe can say, hey, what, we could afford to actually uh, sell our boots for a little bit more, like five or double the price, actually $550 as opposed to $250. So, with that being the case, yeah, uh, a lot of these direct to consumer companies are going to do that. But from what I'm understanding, the owner of Chisos actually went to the factory for 3 months and spent time there to make sure that everything was taken care of exactly, how he wanted it.
Well, I've been to Leon, Mexico, and I've spent a lot of time in Mexico. I lived in Mexico for many years, and um, Leon's not a safe place. I was in Leon for maybe a month, 3 weeks, something like that. I was in a hotel, and I was traveling with another Mexican, and there's no, you want food, you go out, you want to go get food. I took an Uber into the next city over. I forget what it is offhand.
Guadalajara.
Maybe it was in Leon proper. Huh?
Guadalajara.
No. Guadalajara is way far. So the next closest city would be Guanajuato, but that's still far enough. Anyway, so I take an Uber into the city, and I say, hey man, why can't we get any Uber Eats or any delivery of food, after 6 o'clock? He's like, oh, it's because of the cartel. Everybody's scared. There's too much, it's too dangerous. So you don't want to be out after dark. And I said, all right, hit the Little Caesars, turn around and take me back to the hotel. So
Yep.
I was there for a month, and you had to be in the hotel before dark, and if you wanted to eat, you needed to do it before 7 o'clock.
Or get carry out.
Well, and it's funny because all over Mexico you see police running around with these police vehicles and machine guns and stuff. But when you get into Guanajuato, which is the state that Leon is in, you see the military in big trucks and big machine guns. So see, Leon's is a little more dangerous. And so to see some of these guys, and I've been all over. I've been to Sinaloa. My sister-in-law was married in Sinaloa. So right after El Chapo's child, his son was in that big gunfight. It was just a couple months after that. So I mean, I've been into some pretty sketchy areas of Mexico, but to see some of these guys saying, "Yeah, I'm going to go make boots in Leon," I mean, come on, I'm not buying it that they're actually going down there. And if
Right.
they are, they're not smart about it. Um, that Guanajuato, my wife won't even let me go to Guanajuato anymore. There's one of my We were in the next state over, and one of my favorite restaurants is just over maybe 20 minutes across the state or the border of the state, and she won't even let me go there anymore. So it's funny that I'm just not buying it. I'm envisioning, there's probably a dozen factories making boots in Leon, and it's one R. Watson and one Chisos, and they're next over. I mean, on the same assembly line.
I think Jeremiah Craig actually went down there. He actually, well,
Okay.
he did go down there because he shot a video
Hmm.
going down there with to the Los Altos factory.
Okay. Who are they making boots for?
They're making boots for Yeehaw Cowboys. The
Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, he's Mexican, so I mean he's comfortable going down there.
right.
People like Joby goes down there all the time. Joby's hats. He goes down there all the time.
Yeah,
He does stuff down there. He buys a lot of product from down there. If you live there and
right.
you know the area, that's one thing. Some gringo going down there who's never been there before, tromping around, you're probably
Yeah,
getting yourself into some trouble.
even me like going like going to Nicaragua. I mean, or not, sorry, Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica. It's the same deal. I mean, you got military trucks driving around with World War II weapons. And I'm like, oh my God. And like the way people drive and everything, and they just I mean, you and I go there, and they're like, oh man, look at these gringos. You know, what are you guys doing
Exactly.
down here?
Exactly.
But I'm sure I mean, if you play it right and you do what you're supposed to do, and maybe you kind of dress down a little bit and whatever, and you go and you can have boots made for yourself and make sure everything is good, and then now everything is done by computer, so you don't even have to um, make sure, just as long as the boots get to you, and the quality control is done right there and then. You know, that's another thing though that has to be done.
Well, that's my problem with it though. If you're doing it by computer, what's the difference? Put a back end in for the end user and let him customize his own boots. I mean, why would I need to call somebody else, to call Mexico and send them an email to make a boot? That's ridiculous. To me, it's ridiculous because
Right.
you've got many options, and there's just so many options we need to look at. And I think we're getting out of control with these middlemen buying Mexican boots and selling them at a high markup. You know, I like these R. Watson boots, and I really do. I think they're pretty boot. Um, and $250 isn't bad. It's just I'm getting tired of the middlemen making money on something that they really aren't even making. They're not making these boots. I have a
Well,
problem with that. I don't know why.
I mean, they still have to make some work making sure that everything goes well, um, transactional wise, and making sure, also the design kind of goes into it, and picking out and make sure that everything, as far as the boxes, all those things, go right. So it's hard for some consumers to say, hey, I want my boot to look like this, and that, and so that they expect somebody to have that done for them. So I think there's a market in there for everyone. Tecovas is a convenient shop for certain folks. So I mean, there's a market for it, and I'm all for those guys making money. Having their boots made, and if some just want to buy a nicer boot or more expensive boot from a different manufacturer, the option is there.
And I think the problem is I'm just mad that I didn't think of it first. And maybe this is something we should get Blake in here and have him on one of the podcasts and ask him, how does this work? Let's get the lowdown on what's going on there. And you know what? That would probably make me feel a lot better about Blake's Brujo, right?
Blake is JW Boot Company.
Okay, so that would make me feel better about JW because I don't even me. I don't even look at Brujo or JW or any of these little brands that are importing out of Mexico. I don't even look at them.
Right.
They're not on my radar at all. So it would be interesting to hear from them, and maybe that would make me feel more at ease, and maybe that would make the listeners feel more at ease about some of these boots that are kind of mid-priced, mid to low priced, somewhere between Ariat and Anderson
Casey and
well,
Bean.
yeah.
Well,
Somewhere between Anderson Bean and Ariat.
right.
So, Tecovas. We've talked about Tecovas, and Tecovas is just a fashion brand. It's you've worn them. I've worn them. They're not a boot for somebody who wears boots.
Right. I will say that for somebody that actually rides horses and works ranches, and I mean, I've heard of people telling me like I'm not wearing those. Um, Now I do want to try their regular line. I did try their ranch wear, but again, you know, even if I try their um, line of boots that are not the ranch wear, they'll be a nice looking dress boot, but I'm never working with those. Maybe they might fit me better than the ranch wear boots, but I don't see myself ever taking them and working them. I'm actually, could probably work in my Mexican made areas better than I could work in those.
And I saw an email week and a half ago, something like that. Tecovas has come out with the Prescott in a suede, and
Yeah,
I saw it. I saw it, and I'm like, I really want to try that because I like the look of the Prescott, especially from the side, the profile. It always looks weird if you're looking straight down at it.
yeah, I can't like
But
that. I think it's like a temple lamp.
it's heavy, but I love the shaft. I mean, there's things that I like about it.
Right.
The heel is junk. It's that pressed board heel. But there's something about the Prescott that I want to like it. And the Bison is so tough, I can't break it in. That rubber, the butyl, not rubber, the butyl infused sole is so unforgiving. It's hard on your feet.
And that's my
I don't
favorite part about the boot too.
know. There's something about it that I want to like it, and I'm hoping that the suede version would be lighter and more flexible, and so
Yeah,
I'd like to try that boot, but unfortunately I kind of know it's going to be like this. I'll go buy the boot and I'll bring it in here and I'll wear it around the house and I'll review it and then I'm going to take it back. And this time I will take it back because the last time I should have taken it back, I didn't, and now I'm stuck with a pair of boots that I hate, and I'll
Yeah.
probably never wear again.
Well, I didn't like the fit at all, and a lot of people out there told me that the fit was just trash, and I mean, I could definitely agree with that. But a lot of other people said that they actually like how they fit. I guess it really all depends on your foot, but to me, it just you know, I tried the 12. It was way too loose to the point where my foot was sliding forward and kind of having like crushing my toes because it was all the way in that narrower part of the boot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know the 11 and a half, it was too tight, and then I had to remove the insole, and that was just too loose. So again, that fit just didn't work out for me at all.
And it's the same thing. But also, another issue is you have to order these boots and try them on and send them back, and order another pair and try them on and send them back. I'm lucky. I'm here in Austin. I have I'm 3 miles away from the Tacoma store, so I can go in there. And when I tried on the Prescotts, I tried on 5 different pair, in different leathers and all of these things. And normally I wear a 9.5 in Lucchese, or I wear a 9 in Lucchese. I'm wearing a 9.5 double E in Anderson Bean. These are, what are these? What are these? I think these are 9D. These are 9.5D. Okay, so the Tacobas Prescott, I'm 8.5 double E. I mean, everything you have to try on a pair of boots. If you
Yeah,
don't try on a pair of boots, I had this conversation with a customer the other day. First pair of boots came in. His family was here, and he flew in from Hawaii. First pair of boots, wanted to take a pair of boots back. He wanted a black pair. He wanted brown toe. I think we wound up with JRC and Son ranch hand calf. Round toe, he liked it. He liked the fit, but he, as everybody does, he comes in and he thinks, all right, I wear a size 12 shoe. Maybe I should be looking at a 13. No, you should be looking at an 11. Start at an 11 and then go from there. You can either go down or up, and then you check your toe length first. If your toe length is good, then you need to go wide or narrow, or you go one size up or one size down, whatever the case may be. But he liked the fit so much, and I spent enough time with him, that he actually wound up buying a pair of Lucchese at the same time. We had this conversation. If this is your first pair of boots, if this is your only pair of boots, you might as well have a pair of Lucchese. It's the best boot on the planet, in my opinion. They've been around. If you get the right fit in Lucchese, it's one of the most comfortable boots there is. That's
yeah.
subjective, and that's my opinion.
Now are great.
Huh?
The snip toes I'm wearing right now are like some of my most comfortable.
Yeah, and we have to compare apples to apples. We're talking about Lucchese, leather insole, standard footbed. You can't compare that to an Ariat with 6 inches of memory foam, or Anderson Bean, with the foam inserts. You can't compare it. It's not the same thing. One's going to feel like a tennis shoe for sure, and it's going to give you all day comfort, and the other one is going to mold to your foot and be comfortable in a different way.
Right.
So a lot of people like boots and won't like boots, but you got to really, really, really like boots to get into all of the subtle nuances that go into boots and fitting a boot to somebody. And a lot of people just don't have the opportunity, to try on every boot. You're going to have to try on 1,000 boots when we go to DFW. You're going to have to try on
Yep.
everything from every brand, and you're going to know, you're going to write this down and say, all right, this is the company that this fits the best, and this toe style, and this. So you're going to take a list home, and then you can just order everything you want.
There you go. But I'll tell you this much: my Anderson beans are all well. The ones that I just ordered, I believe they're the same way. They're a little bit different from your grizzly and my giraffe Anderson bean.
Let me grab this
Those are
grizzly real
all
quick,
traditional.
so everybody can see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep talking. I can hear you.
So yeah, definitely the ones that I ordered, like you remember how yours has that inlay of rubber inside of the leather sole.
Inlay of leather. Say that again.
Oh, sorry, the inlay of rubber, right on the inside, or sorry, no, on the sole.
Oh, you're talking about the Soul Saver. Uh, I'm showing it
Right,
to the microphone. I'm
exactly.
showing it to the microphone. Sorry. Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. So you see how that has that?
Yeah.
My Grizzlies don't have that.
And I don't. These are the only boots, other than the Ariats, that I really. I think. Spoiler alert. I'm going to sell these Ariat full ostrich. Maybe. Maybe we'll think of something to do with those. But the full ostrich Ariats that I've never worn and haven't reviewed yet, they're probably going away without ever being worn. So look out for that. But that's the only other boot that I have that has any kind of rubber sole on it. And so the Anderson
Right.
Beam with the Soul Saver, and I've thought about Soul Savers before, but most of my boots are Lucchese, and you talk to Lucchese, it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not they're going to warranty anything if you do anything to the boot. And I've talked about Soul Savers. And if you glue a Soul Saver on, you're probably okay. If you skive the sole out to do that, they're probably going to void the warranty. So I haven't done anything. And a Soul Saver is not bad because, you do get an extra, you know, several months of wear on this. You can probably replace the heel cap one or two times and still not get into the sole. And even if you bust through the Soul Saver, okay, this is going deep. Even if you bust through the Soul Saver, you've got a thick layer of leather, actual sole to go through after that. So this is going to, it's going to take a while to go through this, but you can always replace the Soul Saver and never wear down any of the leather.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't like that they stitched the Soul Saver on. I would much prefer if they had stitched the sole on, skived this out, and then glued a Soul Saver to it. That way you can tear it off and put a new one on.
I think that's part of the Goodyear welt.
It's not. Well, it is, but it's not. So what they did was they took the sole, they skived it out, they glued the Soul Saver on, and then they stitched the welt. So it is part of the welt, which means you have to rip the welt out, the welt stitching,
Right.
pull the Soul Saver off, glue another one on, and then restitch the welt. Every time you restitch
Right.
the welt, you are running a chance of ruining the welt or wearing it down, because you can't hit every single hole. You have to hit every single hole in the same spot.
Yep.
When you restitch a welt. Otherwise, you're tearing it up. So the fact that they stitched that on, I'm not a happy camper on that. I would prefer they. Anyway, I digress. I went to get this to show you the Grizzly, and so I wore this the other night. I wore it to work, and I put a boot tree in it, and then I conditioned it, and now here we are. You can see as soon as you flex it one time, you get those creases back. I mean, it's pushing that oil around in there. It's such a weird leather. It really is, and it crinkles like paper. It doesn't have a smooth bend in it. Everything is a sharp crease in many different directions. So it's very weird, and I'm hoping it breaks in a little softer because it is.
It's kind of like goat though, isn't it? Because goat kind of does the same thing.
I have not seen goat do that. I've not seen anything do that.
Yeah,
It's
because like my goats that I have on right now, they crease in different places too.
yeah, and I get different directions of the crease, but the way this is, and I will show this because what I'll do is in my extended wear review, I will not condition these, and I'll show. I mean, look, you can see right there just these were perfect before I started flexing them, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you can see every line and crease, and
Yep.
I sent you some pictures. Anyway, I'll post some pictures of this and try to explain it more in the review. But they are comfortable. The if they were softer on the vamp, the only issue I'm having is where it creases. It's rubbing across the top of the foot. I'm wearing the split hippo right now, and they're soft and smooth. And
Oh yeah.
it feels like I'm wearing
Well, it's a
slippers.
whole different vibe.
I feel like I'm wearing slippers.
You know, like those are probably closer to my giraffes.
Okay.
But so my giraffe Anderson Baines, they don't have that soul saver on on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So also what I noticed is that the insole is not a memory foam insole. It has that quarter piece of leather, and then the rest of it is just the bottom of the boot.
Okay. Now,
So
did you buy those
very
new or used?
I guess traditional. Those were they were an older model, just like the Grizzlies that I just bought. So I'm seeing that the Grizzlies are the same, that they don't have that Skyven and Soul Saver. So I'm assuming that the insole might be the same way as my giraffe boots.
Mm-hmm. What I've found with Anderson Bean is, I don't even know how to. Whatever you think your normal size would be, by one half size. So if I am a 9 or 9 double E generally, and in Anderson Bean I wear 9 double E without the sole or without the insole. With the insole, I'm a 9.5 double E, and that's just for height and width, really. The length is
Right.
arbitrary, but you kind of have to get that length to get the extra width.
But if they were traditionally made, would you think that, or like if they were like mine that is traditionally made, would you think that it might be a different sizing?
Well, it is traditionally made, and that's kind of what I.
Or without the insole is what I mean.
Right. Yeah. So without the insole, I tried this boot on without the insole, and 9 double E is my size without an insole. It fits great.
Okay.
So, and this is a 9.5 double E, and I fought this when I bought them because I don't like the insole, and I think that's it doesn't allow the footbed to actually mold to your foot. You're kind of bypassing the natural, old style tradition of a boot. But I don't wear the wide square toe, and these are basically for me to wear at work. So I thought, all right, fine, I'll get the ones with the inserts, and I'll wear them at work, and I'll try it out. It's very comfortable. The insert's very comfortable.
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you.
I'm not gonna wear it. And I might. I wore these today. I wore the hippos. I wore them to the grocery. I like the way the hippo looks. I mean, the video's live now. You can check it out later and see how they look. But man,
Right.
they came dirty. You got to see how dirty they came, and I knew they were going to be dirty because I saw them in the store. I said, "What is this? You think this is going to come out?" And she's like, "I don't know." And I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll take them.
Maybe.
I'll take them because they were completely different. The left boot and the right boot was different, completely different color. So I took them because I thought it would make a good review. We're going to talk about the difference in color, if it can be fixed, why it's there, and if it's not fixable, how easy is it for me to get it replaced. So, spoiler alert, it was fixable. It came right off. But, is it a QC issue? I don't know. I mean, it's a dirt issue, and maybe they just think it adds to the experience.
Definitely.
So,
But also at the same time, well, I mean, with that being said, actually, my my regular boot size, like the Anderson boots, just fit me great. At a 12D,
mhm.
they just fit me on. And then the cool thing, like I said before, about Anderson Bean and Rios of Mercedes and the whole brand and family. Like I've tried the horsepower, I've tried Anderson Bean, I own a pair of Rios of Mercedes, and they all fit me just as well. Whether it's their Mexican-made boot, which is the horsepower line, or the Anderson Beans, or the Rios of Mercedes, they all fit me good. So that's one thing I could say that I wasn't too impressed with Lucchese when I tried on the American-made Lucchese. They fit good, and then my Mexican-made Lucchese, I couldn't break him into save my life, and they just now I'm at a point where I have to sell them because they just don't work for me.
Yeah, that's not good. Uh, for me personally, the horsepower, it's not an option. There's just too many Mexican-made bootmakers in the space. Um,
Hmm.
I can't think of any. Yeah, I can. The styling of the JRC and Son Mexican-made boots and the construction is far superior to Cobus. The shaft design is far superior to Cobus. I would probably go with JRC Mexican-made boots before Tecovas. I would not go with Ariat. It's just not worth it. Um, I haven't. I mean, I need to see prices. It has to be worth it for me to need a Mexican-made boot, and the price has to make sense. You know, um, this boot at let's say $250. You can probably find this for $250 online retailer. Cavender's is selling it for $270. I would, it's just such a pretty boot. I think I think that's $250 worth. It's my problem is this has a non-removable footbed, but so does JRC and Son. You know, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't know why you would do that, because that's going to break down faster than the sole of the boot's going to break down, and then you're going to have to. What are you going to do? Let's face it.
As in
If you
non-removable, as in is glued in.
Yeah, I mean, it's either part of. I can't even get it out to find out. And this is going back, so it feels like I got an edge of this up. It feels like they glued rubber to the footbed, and then they glued leather on top of it. And I mean, let's face it though, if you're going with a Mexican-made boot, when you get this resold in America, they're not going to have a last for this. So it's not going to fit the same the next time it's relasted.
Yeah, exactly. And at that point, you have to wonder if it's even worth relasting a boot like that. It's
Exactly.
probably not.
Exactly. So
Um,
if you buy a $270 boot that you can't get resold, why wouldn't you spend $320 on a boot that you could get resold for the rest of your life?
right.
So to me, this is
And that would be
it's pretty. It's pretty, but it's a fashion boot and it's throwaway because I'm not going to have this resold. How can I? You know, I take it to the boot doctor, and it's going to be uncomfortable when it's done.
Yeah, I will say this though, like my Mexican made Ariats, if I want a boot that I'm going to be comfortable in all day and I can walk around and, my foot is hurting me one day and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to wear my most comfortable boots. What I mean, or like, for standing and walking around, or, I use the word amusement park as this a place you would go to actually walk around all day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um, so that's why I use that term. So the areas are great for that, but in that same aspect, I think the whole insole, the foam insoles that was started by Ariat, kind of threw out the whole understanding of what sizing is in cowboy boots.
I agree with that.
I think sizing before uh, insoles were probably more accurate to each brand.
So we've talked about this, and I've got a problem with Ariat. I'm going to do reviews on them. It's not something I'm going to wear personally. I've got I've got two pair of Ariats. The one I've worn for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks at work. It's comfortable enough on the footbed that I get less fatigue than I would with a traditional boot. But it's actually not as comfortable as the footbed and insole on the Anderson Bean that I wore on Friday. Now, I didn't stand in it as long on Friday, but there's a lot more going on with the Ariat. There's the shaft, the flex, the non-traditional sole. It's all that man-made products that doesn't flex very well. There's a lot going on there, and it's just not very good. And I'm just not a fan of Ariat. You know that, and
Yep.
I think there are other options, especially in that price range. Now, if you look at an Ariat
Yeah.
boot for $120 that you want to, beat around, fine. If you want a throwaway boot for $120, a ranch boot or whatever, barn boot, fine. If that's what you want to wear, fine. Because you can't find an American-made boot for $120. You can't.
Not a good one.
I don't think you can find any for $120.
I think Double H.
Oh, H&H, Double H. I'll have to look. And I like their boots. I've not worn any of them. I've not even tried them on, but I've sold a bunch of them, and I always push American made first because
Yep.
where's my
For
sign?
sure.
Where's my sign that comes with there's no cowboys. Hang on.
Oh,
Oh, it's over here. that say?
No cowboy. There's no cowboys in China. That's from
Anderson Bean. Yeah, there's no cowboys in China. And I think you said that in one of your videos when you did the Mexican versus Chinese area.
Yep. I didn't say it, but somebody um, kind of said that, kind of made that used that as a reference to lash out at me.
Oh,
If you
what'd they say?
that it was political.
Oh, I know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it is what it is.
yeah,
I
exactly.
have my opinion, and I stated facts on the video about how I felt, and every fact's checked out because I wore that boot the next day, that Chinese one, just to try it out, and well, I haven't put them up for sale yet, but they are for sale. Never wore them again. But
Yeah.
I love my Mexican made areas.
Well, I've got a couple of Ariats coming up for sale because I don't need them. I do like the jeans, and I have. So I've come to like their fashion jeans a little bit more. I talked in the last episode about the rebar jeans, and I've noticed after wearing them that they're not as soft as the fashion jeans. They make a little more noise when you walk. They're a little stiffer than I thought they were. Um, so the fashion jeans, although they are a little more expensive, they're not bad. I don't think they're worth $90. Um, because for me, it's $90 plus I need to have them um, hemmed. So
Hmm.
and I'm not a big fan of bell bottoms. You know the full cowboy cut boot cut jeans. I think
The
Wranglers
Wrangler
are.
boot cut jeans are horrible.
I think the Wrangler cowboy cuts way better. But
That's what I have
but
too.
I'm wearing the Ariat fashion jeans tonight, and they're very comfortable, very comfortable. So and they're made in Mexico. So
Same with these um, Wranglers. I got a couple pairs of the cowboy cut. I have a couple pairs of the the one I worked at a rodeo with, and also um, these ones that I'm wearing is just a really dark one. It's a Trailblazer series. They're like $25 jeans, and they were just fine. I'm just thinking, they look great. Why do I need anything more than that? I'm comfortable in my Wranglers. Um, but talk about a company that charges a lot for jeans. Kimes Ranch.
who?
Kimes Ranch.
Never heard of them.
They have sorry. They have that logo. It's like a longhorn on the back pocket. Let me see if I can find. I'm gonna try to pull my phone up to the screen here.
Yeah, Times like Times Ranch.
Kimes Ranch. KIMES Ranch.
Kimps.
Is that how you pronounce it?
KIMPS.
KIMES.
Oh, I have no idea. Kimes Ranch.
Yep. Yeah, those are selling for like 100, 120, 130. They are made in the USA though, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that bad being that they're made in the United States, but I think it's quite a bit of money to pay for a pair of jeans.
Yeah, I mean, I've bought fashion jeans for that, and I mean, I've spent 5 times that on custom, but I know this logo. I saw actually that's what they make a denim shirt. I like that
Yeah, I'm sure they
that
do.
denim shirt. So I like that logo. I'm gonna have to keep those in mind. But we're coming up
But
on an hour and a half.
yeah, yeah. So we're about to close that up. But I
Yeah.
just want to say, about the the Kimes jeans. Um, I mean, they're supposed to be aimed to be a ranch wear jean, but I don't see them being much better than what a cowboy cut Wrangler would be, for working or whatever at, a quarter of the price. And I just don't see, you know, a lot of franchises, unless they're super rich, just making enough money to say, hey, I'm going to blow $100 on a pair of jeans
Well, nobody
or for
is.
multiple pairs of jeans.
Nobody's going to do that to go work in them. I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, the
Well,
Wrangler,
that's their
the
intended
regular,
purpose.
the regular WMZs, they are a good looking jean, especially for the money. And you might have to wash them 10 or 12 times before you get the comfort set into them. But they are a good fitting jean. I don't like the
Yeah,
colors of the blue. I don't own any blue. I own black, brown, and a khaki. Uh, but if they made a better blue, I think you know they'd be a solid jean.
definitely. And um, as long as to me, as long as they fit good, they feel good. They work, they can work hard in them, and that's all that really matters. I mean, like I said, I get everything I need out of Wrangler jeans. So with jeans, it's not something that I like to venture off too much into different brands. It's starting to be like my hats, where I just want to stick to American, and that's it. And
Yes.
that's kind of how it is with the jeans. I just want to stick to one brand, and that's it. Now with boots, I do like to venture out a little bit more, and I think that's a fact for everyone.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. I like to try certain things, and I'll beat this dead horse again and again. I like the American-made boots, which is funny because I only drive foreign cars. But I like American-made boots, and I think they're well done. And I think it's because I work in the automotive industry, and I've worked in the automotive industry for many years, and I've seen how um, the automotive industry has gone downhill in America,
Yeah,
and the production quality and certain things. We're not going to beat that dead horse either, though. But I've seen some things in my time, and that's why I don't buy American cars. But for American boots, I do see a definite quality, and at a certain level. The Anderson Bean, I think I need to take a better look at Rios of Mercedes, because the Anderson Bean are so good. I need to find a Rios of Mercedes that is appealing to me, because the ones I looked at Texas Boot Company were all square toe, and I don't like those. I've got
yeah,
the ones I'm wearing because the price is right, and they're comfortable, and the hide is what I wanted. So I mean, it's an offset. I take the heel
yeah,
or the toes shape that I don't like, and I take I kind of balance it with the other things that I do like. So, but it's a purposeful boot for me.
yeah. And with that being said, it's funny you should say that, because I went to Bass Pro Shops today, and I was looking at a new brand of I don't know if they're new, but they make good priced single action revolvers, And I was looking at it, and I'm like, well, my first question is it made in the USA? And he says, yes, it is made in the USA, but I wouldn't just use that as a as a gauge for you buying the gun or not. And I think what he was saying by that is some of the quality is not as good as it used to be. So just make sure that the quality is there. More than just focusing on if it's made in the USA. And I agree with that to some level, but at the end of the day, I feel like we need to still encourage made in the USA, um, as much as we can, and just trust that we are making the best products. But I'm not going to take away from Mexican boot makers,
Of course not.
especially in the nicer ones. They know what they're doing.
Of course.
I mean, you know they got the same tradition as us in boot making, and so do the Spanish and the Italians. But
Oh, I love
not the
Italian.
Chinese.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
Italian boots. I've got several pair of Italian boots, and I think I would put my Italian boots up against Lucchese boots any day of the week. Um, I would like to take a better look at some of the more budget priced American boots in the future, and kind of compare those to Mexican boots, especially if we can get
Hmm.
the prices down and keep the quality, you know,
Yep.
and keep it in America. So I think that's where we're going to drive our way toward. I'm not going to focus on some of these little niche brands that are buying boots out of Mexico and throwing their name on them. I'm just going to leave those be unless they want to send me boots, and then of course I'm going to review them. But I'm not going to keep those boots. I'm going to give those away. Um,
Right.
so
Now,
go ahead.
it's funny you should say that because, um, so from what I understand, I mean, Lucchese, the original Lucchese, is from Italy, and from what my understanding is that him and Salvatore Ferragamo, which actually his name was Salvatore Lucchese, the one making the boots, they were apprenticeships in the same place, and they worked making shoes in Italy in the same place. But Salvatore Lucchese went to the United States. Salvatore Ferragamo stayed in Italy, but they were friends, and one was making shoes in Italy, and
Mm-hmm.
the other one was making just started making cowboy boots, with whatever he learned from shoemaking in Italy.
Right.
So, I would expect that, it's the same level of attention to detail and quality. And I do have actually one pair of Philadelphia's, believe it or not, that I really liked, suede. I never wear them, but I have them. And they are good quality, but, and that's what I'd expect to see out of some of the nicer Lucchese's.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Uh, Absolutely. I think at Lucchese's price they should be at least 50% better quality. I don't have a horrible problem with Lucchese quality, but I think they if you put a Lucchese $1,000 boot or a $1,500 boot against an Italian $500 boot, there's no comparison. The $500 boot is going to outshine the Lucchese all day long, and that's a problem. Somebody needs to
Yep, it
somebody
is.
needs to rethink some things. You know, um,
Yep,
when the Italians start making some serious cowboy boots, America might be in trouble.
yep, exactly. And I think that one of the brands that is really stepping up as far as like really showing what quality is supposed to look like would be um, Blackjack. I think they're really stepping up that ball really high in terms of showing what quality is supposed to really look like.
So I agree. Blackjack's quality and styling is almost identical to Lucchese. When you look, I think I've mentioned this in a post or something before. When you walk down an aisle of boots, you can tell the difference.
Hmm.
Every other boot in the world, Lucchese, it looks different. And then you keep going and like that's Lucchese, that's not a Lucchese. The tag doesn't say Lucchese. Oh, it's a blackjack. It looks exactly like a Lucchese. The styling of blackjack and the lasting of blackjack looks exactly like a Lucchese. And those are the only two that have that. You can absolutely, if you know boots, if you know Lucchese, if you know what a boot, how it fits on your foot, how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to be formed, you know a Lucchese. It is just that much different. And
Definitely.
blackjack is
And
just
and
that identical to a Lucchese in in that form. The problem I have with blackjack is the toe spring. I believe it's the toe spring is so much different for me that it's uncomfortable when I try them on. And I need to actually just spend the money and buy a blackjack boot and break it in to see if it's any different because it's that level of quality that's it's but at a lower price point and it's worth a shot if it can be broken in and be comfortable in the long run.
I think they're a little bit more bold than Lucchese.
Some models, I mean, they've got their bland, the Casey style. They have some that are like that. They've got some pretty outrageous shaft designs, and they've got some extra
Yeah,
styling that I would say you're right on. But they do have a core design that's very similar to Lucchese, and you can you can say, I mean, you can if you there are some boots that you can look side by side with Lucchese and not tell which one's which without looking at the bottom.
right. I just think when they finish out like a hide, it just looks like nothing else that in that hard line. And
Yeah.
the same thing with Rios of Mercedes. And I saw an interview of how they make Rios of Mercedes and Anderson Bean where they actually stretch it out, stretch out the hide over the last in a different way where they're using more product, so they're making less boot out of that hide. But ultimately, that's the exact same way that it was put on the animal, or that it is on the animal,
Yeah, I saw that. I know what
and
you're talking about.
it. Yeah.
Go ahead, though. Continue.
So oh, so basically, it just kind of breaks in a little bit better, and I do find that I do actually believe that because man, the way that that hide stretches, it's unlike anything else that I've ever felt.
Well, that's definitely on the list. I'm going to have to either order or find a pair of Rios that you know I'm I'm comfortable with, and so Blackjack and Rios are on my list at the moment. But we are just over an hour and a half,
Yep,
so I've got to
I
edit
think
this.
we're all
So
set.
yeah, I have to edit this at some point, so I wanna cut it. But
Yep,
it's great talking to you. Why don't you tell me about what you got coming up?
same here, man. Um, so coming up is the Farini for tomorrow, and then that's it. And basically, I'm going to be busy for the rest of the week,
Hmm.
and then it's whatever we get done in Fort Worth.
Okay, sounds good. Um, so for me,
Should we tell them about the factory?
yeah, go ahead.
So we're going to be visiting the hat American Hat Company factory over in Bowie. So we're going to be bringing you some very, very good content on both channels.
Yeah, so we're going to be there from the 12th to the 15th, I believe. We're going to be in Dallas Fort Worth, and then at Bowie, and then we're going to hit some other places, and we've got a couple of special places we're going to hit too. Uh, so we should have quite a bit of content to roll out over the next month, I guess. I'm going to spend this month or this week creating videos and scheduling them for launch. I just launched tonight before this podcast the Anderson Bean split hippo boot dropped on YouTube. We've got also the Cowboy Cartel T-shirts are coming out. We've got the Cowboy Cartel patches that are dropping tomorrow, I believe. We might list that on the Cowboy Cartel site tonight for people who follow that. And I think that's about it. I've been busy, man. I've been busy.
Yep, same here. But I think we got a lot of good stuff coming up, and also, like I said, I'm going to do a review on these suspenders, and bring some things that are a little bit out there. Uh, you jacket, all that stuff. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up.
All right, sounds good.
We
We obviously had some technical difficulties with the live show tonight. I do show 5 people up here in the corner. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe the chat. I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll call the podcast provider on Tuesday, and we will get that all straightened out. So the next time we have this, we'll probably not do this in 2 weeks because we will just be getting back from Bowie. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. I don't foresee that happening. We may miss one podcast and have to skip to the next one, and we'll let you know. We'll make posts about that. But as always, a lot of fun, Lionel. Thanks for being with us.
Yep. So go. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.